countdown to the crossover night. This crossover night is all about when we are going to now step into the new month where God will read the budget of the year for us. So we are having not less than 15 days from now to enter into the new year. That is why the major prophet of God has been mandated by our Father, the creator of heaven and earth, to come and prophetically activate the crossover. The crossover has to be prophetically activated. And I said today, as I activate the crossover, I want to let you know that every blessing that belongs to you, that this year 2022 is supposed to give to you, which you have not laid your hand on, I am praying the minute prayer that will launch all of us into the year 2023. God will surely command those blessings. As a major prophet is speaking right now, let those blessings now begin to quickly locate you, and let the Lord now begin to do great wonders in your life. That at the end of today, you will have a testimony and a miracle that will shock you, and you will know that of a truth, we are serving the God that never fail. We are serving the God that never disappoint. We are serving the God that does great and mighty things for his children. And so wherever you are at this moment, get yourself ready, because in this very program today, God is already set to bless you. And I want to say that the blessing that God is giving to you will never ever pass you by, in Jesus' name. Once again, today, I want you to know that as the year go by, new year comes, God always has what is called packages. When I say packages, I'm talking about the things that God has already prepared that is definitely going to give to all his children. So as you're watching me online now, you are not here by accident. You are here for a purpose, and the purpose must surely be granted in your life. And so the year is rounding up, and we're about to step into a new year. Now I want to draw your attention that as the year is rounding up, there are too many things that are remain in the year that must happen. Most of these things that must happen, some are positive and some are negative. Our own portion there is to now choose what we want the Lord to do in our lives. We are choosing to remain on the side of the Lord for our permanent victory that can never be compromised, our permanent victory that can never be tampered, our permanent victory that the enemy will never have access to, our permanent victory that the enemy can never infiltrate himself into. When I say permanent victory, I am talking about we have conquered the enemies of our destiny. We have conquered the enemies of our career. We have conquered the enemy of our peace. We have also conquered the enemies that are trying to wish us bad, the enemies that want us to fail, the enemies that doesn't want us to enter into the new year, the enemies that are busy here and there causing havoc, the enemies that are busy here and there making people to cry. We have entered a season that we have now activated our victory that is now taking us into the year 2023. So which means the year 2023 that is coming, we have pushed out of 2022, we are moving into 2023. All the enemies that are always causing different things in the year 2022, none of them is going with us into 2023. Enemies in the area of poverty, the enemies in the area of sickness, enemy in the area of frustrations, enemy in the area of hardship, enemy in the area of failure, disappointment, and all of them, they will never move with us to 2023. We are going to 2023 to celebrate a new, brand new year without pain, without agony, without weeping, without any disappointment. And so as I'm speaking, God is busy doing it for all of you that are watching me online. You are going to drop every enemy that have battled with you in 2022. Every enemy that have struggled with you in 2022. In this crossover activated, you will join the major prophet of God in prayers and in faith to say that all the Egyptians you saw yesterday and today, the Egyptians you see today, that we are moving to see them no more. We are moving to permanently conquer them forever, where they will never ever have access to get closer to your life, or to hinder you, or to stop you, or to block your way, or to cause you pain anymore. We are moving the place where we are going to rejoice and be glad because our God is on our side. And because God is on our side, we will cross over with all our destiny, we'll cross over with all our finance, we'll cross over with all our career, we'll cross over with all our happiness, and we see ourselves in 2023 with everything that God has put in our hands. Now, I have said so many things in the year 2022 that are prophecies. Most of those prophecies, all of them came to pass even before we got to half of the year. And so many of the prophecies started happening even as we're about to run up. Some of the prophecies are just fulfilled. We've had the ones that are fulfilled. Remember the other day I was telling all the African people that Africa should summon up. I told African people to now prepare themselves, that very soon they will be the pride of the world. But right now the Lord now begin to activate the major prophet of God, never to fold my hand or to keep quiet or to say yes. As I'm talking to you now, the Lord has already taken me again on top of the highest mountain. When I see myself on top of the highest mountain, the Lord said, do you remember the prophecy I gave to you about Africa? And I said, yes, Lord, I remember the prophecy you gave to me about Africa. And the Lord said, tell the African people to be very careful because they are going to cause the Africa to now begin to sign what they are not supposed to sign. All the African leaders all over the world, all the African leaders should be very careful on the documents they are signing their signature. Be very careful on the document you are putting your signature. Because as a major prophet of God, the Lord is giving me grace to see ahead and to give the message before the time. As I look at the African continent, the Lord said, African continent should get ready. Remember when I gave you prophecy, I said Africa will soon carry the World Cup. And you see this outing, how far the African went. In the previous and the coming wars, you will see how Africa is going to go beyond what anybody have thought about. So which means in the realm of the spirit, there's a positioning for Africa to now begin to take what belongs to them in the global world. And so if you're an African philanthropist, or you are you are technocrat, or whatever you are as an African, it is time that we all should now begin to wake up and prepare ourselves, because there's a positioning in the realm of the spirit that is going to bring the African continent to come out of their darkness and begin to see the light. And coming out of their darkness has to do with them getting things right and getting the right leadership in place. Africa, all over the nations of Africa, they should begin to get their leadership in place. When I say leadership in place, I am talking about getting the right leadership and making sure that you also innovate your people to move into the world of technology, and also the world of informations and the world of development. Let your people now civilize, because I am seeing in Africa here the best brain that God has given to the world at large. And I'm seeing right here in Africa where the African people are now getting what is called a spiritual backup from heaven that will now put the realm light on Africa. And this is what is going to make the continent of Africa to now become the continent that all the Europeans, all the American continent, and all the other continents of the world will fight tooth and nail. They will do everything possible. They will fight as if tomorrow will not come to make sure who and who is going to take full possession of the African states. I don't know this message, if it is getting to the right people that need to hear and wake up, or it's not getting to them. But major prophet of God will always do what the Spirit has instructed me to do. Now, all the people need to begin to wake up from their slumber. African leaders should begin to put the right leadership in place. And I want to let you know that this world we are now is no more a world of blindness. You can do what is called copy-paste. How are other continents of the world getting their development? How are they succeeding? Let us now imbibe into all of those things and bring in things that will transform Africa and bring the right information that all the African people need to have, and also bring the development and good governance. And then you will see that Africa is going to be positioned in such a way to rule the world. You see, the reason why you see today America and China and all other Middle East are having all those challenges and all those fracas and all those things happening there and there, it is because the people has already wised up. The Middle East has wised up, the Asians has wised up, and then it is time for the Africa to now wake up from their slumber and wise up, because there is a conflict in the realm of the spirit of what is called a drag. Which continent is going to rule the world? But I want you to have this at the back of your mind. Africa should quickly, as quick as possible, wake up from the slumber, because there is a positioning for Africa. Positioning for Africa. I said it last time, and the Lord has caused me to say it again. There's a positioning for Africa. We must not fold our hands. Africa is positioned. You'll be surprised. Many continents we want to relocate and be part of Africa. Many continents we want to come to Africa and have a base. There will be what's called military base. There will be what's called the government of other countries trying to come into Africa to also have what's called alliance with the people of Africa. These are the things that are already in the realm of the spirit and is set to begin to happen. And with this, there will be what's called the highest bidders. There will be bidding. People will come, presidents of other countries of the world will come for bidding. They will bring the billions. There will be bidding, and billions here and there will be brought in to come and prize Africa. They are coming to prize you. They are coming to prize Africa. But as they come into prize Africa, the Africa should not fold their hands and slip off. The Africa should wake up and be ready to switch to the new transition that is coming, the new development and the new switch that is coming. And this is what is going to bring about different cities of Africa will now be chosen for what is called mega industrialization. Mega industrialization. This mega industrialization, for example, Africa will have a place where they are going to be producing hybrid cars. When I say hybrid cars, I'm talking about cars that will run on electric cars, battery cars, and the cars that may not need to use a petroleum product. Africa is going to also trigger what is called the nuclear power, where they are going to bring about what is called the nuclear power, that you don't need all this Kanji dam or begin to look for where to now begin to struggle with diesel to generate megawatts and all of that. There will be serious projects going on in Africa. When I say Africa, Nigeria, what are you people doing? Are you still fighting your brothers? Or you are still fighting the innocent citizens? Or you are still struggling with your daily bread? Or are you ready for what is coming upon the face of Africa?